All right, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Jebb and Greencast. I'm your host Tyler Green. With me, as always, is Final Man
Hey,
Jebb.
hey.
And today we have two special guests. We have Amanda Wilkins and Sam Stilwell. How are you guys?
Very well. How are you?
Welcome.
It's great to have you guys on.
Hanging in there.
All right,
All right, so
great.
the
So,
I'll go with the first question.
go ahead.
What got you guys into music?
Oh Lord. You want me to go first? Do you want to go first?
Do you mean like when we were kids, or
Yeah, like just in general, like over like what got you started, like what got you attached to wanting to do music life or lifetime and
I can be pretty quick. Um, I wanted to play sports, but my mom didn't want her little boy to get broke. So, and she always loved Elvis Presley and the Beatles. So she didn't want her little boy getting broke, but she loved Ringo and she loved Ronnie Tutt. So she wanted me to be
Both excellent choices.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's it for me.
The Beatles.
Yeah, the Beatles.
I mean, I sang in church when I was a kid.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. My grandma, Earlene, my dad's mom, and my his dad, they were always getting me these little. Grandma she'd talk like this. She'd take in Martinsburg. There was a Christian bookstore, and she'd say, "Man, Christian bookstore, and I'll get you some. We'll get you some of them karaoke tapes, and you can sing for us in church on Sunday."
That's awesome.
I started listening to the Beatles and Led Zeppelin and Bonnie Bramlett, who's my absolute hero, and you know, started learning how to. I found the Beatles, and it was like, okay, I want that.
That's music. I got you.
So, how did you guys start? How did you guys meet and start working together?
Oh,
Um, I was in a let's see, I was on the road playing full time, and then I got a call to come back and play with a band that was actually opening up for people. So I came back home and joined this band called River's Edge, and then
Ooh, okay.
and it was pretty good, decent country. We did like Farm Aid and up and down the East Coast playing dog and pony shows.
we got both of us on separate occasions got to do a whole bunch because of that band.
And we hooked up like during that period. She was opening up for us, and she was this cheap little Britney Spears looking thing. So
Long time ago. Yeah, so we've known each other, I don't know, 25 plus years. And we ended up finally getting together in 2017. We've been together
Aw.
2017.
Awesome.
And my late husband wrote, he was an incredible writer. His name's Ricky Wilkins from the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia.
Oh,
And
wow. Okay.
he played the Grand Ole Opry. He played with Catfish High. He played with Razzie Bailey. Same as Sam. Sam's
I think you dropped one.
oh yeah, Sam. He's gotten to play stuff like that too, and I haven't yet, but he's written like that too. Sam, I'd never written before, and we got together, and I was like, huh, I got some of these goofy little things rattling on in my head. Let's see what we can do with them. So
Well, I can. So she had this record label, and she
oh
was
yeah.
stuck on this label, and they had taken one of the songs that one of the albums that Ricky had done. He was, of course, the vocalist. So she was stuck on this 2 album deal with this record company.
I thought it was a
Oh.
good idea.
So
Oh.
when we started hanging out, she was like, I need to get out of this record label," and so we just started writing songs out of necessity. Just writing.
just keep, yeah.
And also because I'd never had stuff rattling around in my head like lyrically. It was almost like it was being given to me, and it's not like it was Sergeant freaking Pepper's.
Yeah, I
or
got you. I
anything.
got you though.
It was comparatively, it was like I like bread. It tastes good. Oh, good. but I needed something, creatively to do with it. So we would get together every Monday. Kids would go off and do their thing. Sam had some recording equipment, in a downstairs bedroom of his. So we'd get together every Monday and just put together whatever we had, whether it was bad, whether it was crap, whether it was really good, 2 minutes, 4 minutes,
Well,
just something to take to the studio
we would
when we
write,
recorded every
we,
Wednesday.
we would write on Monday and
Yeah.
record on Wednesday, no matter how
Yes.
bad it was.
Yes, didn't matter what it was.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So,
That's a good spirit to have when you get into those kinds of creative projects.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah. We stopped doing it for a while. There's a reason, though. It was like, we're kind of stuck in the house.
Yeah.
Stuck in the house. Sam's been on the road with Kicks for
A couple years.
2015, 2016.
Oh wow.
So he had stuff to write about. He's like, I haven't been on the road, in a year. I don't know what to write about. My up on the carpet. That doesn't really go. Make it a song. So.
Well, we tried writing, like when the COVID thing hit, everybody stuck inside and started hearing all started hearing all these cliche songs come out, like 6 feet away. And,
Oh yeah.
because it's you have to say 6 feet away or say somebody's buried 6 feet under.
Yeah.
Kind of. All this COVID stuff was like very cliche, so I was like, I'm gonna stay out for a while.
Yeah.
We did think at one point, Sam shoots me a text. He's like, I've got an idea for a song. And then one of our musician buddies posts on Facebook, if one more person writes a COVID song, so we're looking at each other going,
Never mind. Never mind. I thought about the same thing because it was just so many coming out. One of my songs that did come out called Isolated Do was similar, where it was it had the message, but it wasn't meant to be a direct COVID song. You could use that in any example of any time, and with that song, a lot of people, it was just the message was we'll make it through, but that could be used years from now for other things. So, but I saw like the same thing. I'm like, there's so many.
Because that's like a positive message too. Like when you write, because we've said this many times, you write something about your experience, and then if it's you hope that it's a good song and that other people will listen to it and think, hey, that's about me.
Yeah.
And then the next
Oh yeah.
I've been through that. And it turns from something that you wrote about a specific circumstance
Without saying that sort of
without saying that circumstance to something that everybody relates to.
This kind of relates to my next question for you guys. Out of all your songwriting and all your your collective I'm gonna say like discography type. Yeah, that would be the word. I'm trying to think of the right word. What is like a song that you guys go back to a lot or think about a lot that it had like a really fun writing process with?
Oh.
Well, I've got two in mind, but I'll.
You go ahead and shoot yours.
Yeah, you guys can both say what you like.
Perfect.
It's totally fine.
There's a song that we wrote at about 10 o'clock in the morning. Put the kids on the bus, and Sam called me and says, "Come over. I've got a really good idea for a song."
I can't wait to hear
it. As all good ideas go.
My stories are like taffy. I'm sorry about that. I'm a flibberty gibbet.
Hey, no worries.
Yeah.
It happens,
It's called 20 Smiles Against the Wall.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. And Sam, I guess they have like this Facebook thing of like his classmates, like a group of classmates, and they put up this picture, and it was 20 kids plus the teachers standing up against a brick wall at Marlowe Elementary School, and they were all smiling, and on the wall it says melodies, memories, and rhymes, which was one of the lines that he had written. And he starts it out, we didn't know it was the start. Girl in the first row had my heart, and you say Christy Valentine.
Yeah.
And they used to do square dancing together.
Ah.
And she moved away, and so we just
the song wrote itself.
Yes,
Just looking at the picture.
Love those. Love when they just all like the flow of ideas. You don't have to sit there going, well, what it just all comes.
A couple of
Just let it all flow out.
Yeah. Well, a couple of our friends since then have come up and said, that's got to be my favorite song that you guys do.
Awesome.
And that makes me so happy. I'm like, oh my God, not only are you listening, but you have a favorite. That's cool. And then there's another one called Case of the Mondays. And we wrote it because we always get together on Mondays.
Ah.
Our kids, he's got 2 boys, I got 2 girls, he's got 2 dogs. We get together, we fix dinner. They do their thing, we go up and write. And everybody always has this coworker, well, a 9 to 5, always has a coworker. Got a case of the Mondays. Well, we made it again. Got a case of the Mondays. Gonna let them in because Mondays are great.
Mondays. Mondays, man.
Monday is Monday. No, but that is so true. Like, there's like even when I was back in school, like, and days are just like I don't want to do anything, and it's always on a Monday. It always happened to be Monday because the weekend
did you-
and everything.
Study music?
So I actually I went to college for general stuff. I actually started doing music on my own, and I'm all self-taught. That's mostly, and then I just teamed up with a bunch of artists over time, and I've known like the bands like the Posies that we talk about on our show. Actually, I think the show that I saw Amanda on, and I don't know if Sam, if you were with her on that one, was the one you guys were live on a Facebook stream, and Ken Stringfellow was part of it, and I forget what it was, because also the guy there, Riley Kearns, was also on our show recently, and he was on there as well. So I was trying to grab some
Riley,
artists from
shout out
that,
to
like, hey,
him.
you guys sound great, and I wanted to.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, I actually all self-taught for me, and I've been just a lot of self-taught stuff. And Tyler, are you self-taught, or you? No, you went to school for audio engineering, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I am going to school for audio
That's right,
engineering. That's a little bit of both, where I have been teaching myself over the years, but I've still been taking the classes.
Yeah, I've always wanted to dive into audio engineering. Just at the school I was going to, they told me they didn't have it, and then one of my friends walks out with one of the books for the class. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm like, this school doesn't want to help me at all. So like, when I get older, I'll go back and I'll try to look into going to one either for radio or audio engineering. So I'm always interested in that stuff.
Well, you're halfway there.
Yeah. I got the equipment, got the podcast going. So if I always look at it, if I try to apply to like stations and stuff, they're just nervous that we have a bigger thing going already, because they're just like So that's good. Good positivity. All right, Tyler, you can ask your question next.
All right. So what are some of your favorite songs that you guys have written over the years?
Let's see. I got what's my favorite? There's one called "Pick Me Up Truck."
Okay.
Got a check it down, and just a nice little. It's just a happy song. It's upbeat. It's called "Pick Me Up Truck" and "Pick Me Up Truck."
I like that.
At the double entendre, like that's how our songs start. He gives me these. They're almost like pickup lines.
I'm pretty good for a quip.
Yeah.
So the song, reason I like it is because I listen to all these country artists, and they were pretty much making just list songs. There's that. Yeah, make a list and I don't know, list songs as we call it. Anyway, so I started making this list and just of good things, and it was a song about my granddad teaching my son to drive. It was about mama, and trains, and
I love it.
I just threw everything in I could.
Typical country song.
I love it.
Well, we did submit it into a songwriter thing, and we got a
75 out of 100.
hey,
Oh,
I'll
wow.
take it.
Oh wow.
Still pretty good.
Yeah.
I still good praise.
Every single time we play it, Sam gets on the mic and goes, "We got a 75 out of 100 on this one. I think we."
But you know what though, the story behind that, like that makes more for the song itself, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in the song.
But it's great.
How about like "Worth a Shot"?
You're reading my mind. I was actually there's a song we wrote called "Worth a Shot." Again, another like double entendre. Like he's worth a shot, she's worth a shot, but it's about seeing somebody in a bar that you used to date. And
Oh.
a little bit of truth to it because it was written after uh, somebody from one of our past came into a bar that we were playing, and a couple weeks later, Sam said, I got an idea for a song.
There you go.
That I can even picture the video if we ever get to do a video one day of it.
Well,
And it was
because you would have to be drunk to hook up with this person again.
I got you. Okay.
yeah. And at the end, again, because he said he was picturing this, this video. He said, you're sitting at the bar and the person walks out and you've done the shot and you're like, yeah, screw it, and then walk out. Yeah, but it's those I call them double entendres, but I guess that's not what the quips. He calls them quips. Like I have on my phone, I've probably got a list of about 125 of them from the past.
Nice.
Well, he'll be on the road and he'll send me. He's like, got a song for you, or there's a song. Somebody says something.
Yeah,
and,
basically you just keep when you're on the road, you're just keeping your ears open all the time, waiting for somebody to say something that clicks.
Oh, my dad has been doing that for years for my music, right? Like, I'll be sitting in the car and he just, like, I have a new album coming out, and turns out the song that he goes, I don't have any lyrics, because you got to write a song called Can't Wait for Yesterday. Meaning, like, because everybody's looking for the future, but everybody, and right now we're stuck in this whole thing with the pandemic and everything, and it's like, I kind of can't wait to what we used to have with the concerts and seeing people. And so we came up with, now actually the album's called Can't Wait for Yesterday, and the cover art's going to be a picture of me when I was younger. So we're working on that. So there's a lot of work going into that. My first time in the studio too, which is kind of, it's like a double thing. And Tyler will be on it as well on drums and some of the songs too. So we got a lot of. It's cool that we all like kind of joined in this like group force of like not just doing a podcast but music as well. And so I always reach out to artists that have been on, and like if they need any support or any help, that's what we're here for. That's why we have the show. So it's a lot of fun.
I think that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
I think I have my family. I love my family. But I'm the only, aside from my granddaddy, of course, I'm the only musician, like the only one that's trying to pursue it as, a way to make very little money.
But still, as sort of a living, but kind of more of a,
So musicians, the musicians that I've played with for the past 20 years, have always been more like family to me. His best friend, Brian.
Perfect.
I've been playing music with him since I was like 18 or 19 years old. He's like my big brother.
There you go. Yeah, that's what it's about too, and it's cool about that with music, because a lot of times, I've met some amazing people, and Tyler and I have with the show, and that's why we do any level of music entry. We don't care if you're big named or you just, our only requirement is
you're always invited no matter
no matter what.
Yeah.
So it's cool. So if any musicians are listening in now and you guys want to come on the show, reach out. We're always looking for people to come on.
All right, Jebb, so you have one more question.
I have the last question, and we'll probably wrap up. And thank you guys for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll have this out real soon, and happy Super Bowl Sunday to everybody. But last question for you. Any advice for those trying to be creative during the pandemic? What's going on now?
I'll play off of you.
I don't know, because I haven't been too creatively productive. Sam has been the one that's come up with the most of our ideas. I think back in March or April, we bought a can of John Deere green paint and painted a wall.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we painted a wall in his kitchen, and
a green screen.
Like a green screen,
but cool.
So that, because
creative,
our kids were starting to do, Zoom, which and Google Teams or whatever, which the teachers were completely flabbergasted, and so were we, because we're both music teachers. So we were like, okay, we could make some fun videos. Let's start a YouTube channel. Let's, and he ended up buying a GoPro. So that would be my advice. Uh, don't let not being able to be around people, or
Okay.
yeah, that's what
That's
I'm gonna.
good.
Yeah, I'm saying as soon as this shutdown hit, like it was March 17th, and we were down in North Carolina on the way back. I knew everything's shutting down. Week after that, like very next week, no gigs, and
Everything was canceled.
that's when I went and got a GoPro. I went and figured out figured out how to hook my board up to the Zoom calls, and because I teach at a private school,
Oh wow.
and like the next week they were like, you got to do computer classes. Like, all right, it's like, so advice for people that um, are stuck: just be creative, like keep doing what you're doing, and
Yeah,
yeah, just make things.
yeah.
It's perfect.
Well,
No, that's perfect.
Like we shot
Well,
a video.
that's
Bro.
yeah,
that's the
we.
best way you can put it, really.
What's that? Say it.
I said that's the best way you can put it, really.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Yeah, we
Sweet.
did.
So what's next on the horizon for you guys? Do you have any projects you're going to be working on in the near future, or
Hopefully, we just talked about it last night.
Yeah, we're gonna
perfect?
pulled up a bunch of old songs that we hadn't touched, and they're pretty cool. I mean, we didn't touch them because they were like old stuff, and the producer didn't like them. But some of them are like in 7/8, and they might have like a Jack White kind of feel.
Ooh.
Yeah, a little bit different stuff.
Because we can create pretty well because she's on acoustic guitar and I'm on drums, and she has really good timing, so we can kind of just play off of each other. Uh, it, there's no real competition. Like it just flows. Um,
Yeah.
Next thing coming up, we get gigs next weekend. We're playing wineries.
Awesome.
Ooh, sweet. So you're getting
That's
back
good.
out there.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, and I'll build a stage at my house.
Yeah, because we couldn't play anywhere else. So he's like, you know what? Let's build a stage.
Ah, hell
Hey,
yeah.
I have friends who do the same thing. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
what past guests of the show, Homestead Collective, they before everything went downhill, they used to do gatherings, and they actually last year put up a whole venue in Glenside, Pennsylvania, and then everything hit, but they're still trucking through everything, thank God. So,
Yeah, I think this summer house concerts are going to be the thing.
I do
Hope
too.
so.
That's why I miss because Ken used to do house shows, and that's why it's cool when you follow a certain artist and then you find them do a live show with a bunch of other artists that you don't know, and all of a sudden you're hooked. I mean, I was hooked because Riley opened the show up with That Thing You Do, which is one of my favorite all-time movies. And when he opened the show with that song, I was like, all right, I gotta watch the rest of the show. And then I found you, Amanda, and then I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna ask some of these artists to come on for us. And I friended Robbie, the guy that was hosting it too. So it was just really cool to see all that. Just that there's something going on when all this stuff is, not as easy as to be doing gigs. I was lucky enough to do a house show or a little venue called 10 Selden. We just recently reached 1K views on the video, which is the first time I've reached anything that major. So it was really cool. And doing it during it was just us, and then everything was live streamed was even cooler. It was like at least we could do something.
Yeah. I tell you about Robbie.
Mhm.
I've known him since I was probably 19, uh, 19, 20 years old. He came into my late husband's restaurant, the Hungry Dog in Strasburg, and he would come in on writers' night, and we all just started playing together. I've known him for a long time. He's a very interesting fella. He's a sweetheart. He's an incredible musician. He used to play, I think, back in Baltimore, like in the hair band days.
Ah, cool.
He was buddies with Kix back in the late '80s. I'm sure he's got some interesting
We'd love
stories.
to have him on. Yeah, definitely.
yeah, get us in touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming on. I know it's a short one,
Yeah,
but
thank you. It
it's
was so great
perfect,
talking to
and
yous.
we'll get this one out for you guys real soon. And
Mhm.
we'll start promo for it, and the YouTube will have it, and Spotify and all those places as well. So perfect.
Guys, see you on the
Awesome.
road.
Peace out, guys. Have a good one.
Have a good one. Stay safe.